This video is sponsored by Bityard. With over 400 cryptocurrencies to choose from on their spot exchange, dozens of USDT pairs for futures trading, perpetual coin futures, trade commodities like gold, silver and oil, Forex, and major indices like Nasdaq. You can buy crypto from Bityard with over 50 different fiat currencies using Visa, MasterCard, Google or Apple Pay. If you like, you can use their copy trade facility, follow other traders who will execute trades on your behalf, or become a copy trader yourself. Sign up between now and the 4th of May to take part in the wallet token airdrop. Further details can be found on my Telegram. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Bitcoin, just focusing on Bitcoin, a little bit about the Dixie. I'll make this video real short because it's just an add-on and really is to what we were talking about yesterday. We're waiting for the meeting to take place and to finish, and then the announcements to be made about the Federal Reserve monetary policy. So the idea is that it's going to be a 50 basis point, and that's obviously, in theory, not particularly bullish. Obviously, that's kind of a bearish concept, but markets largely price these sort of things in, and I think overall the market has been pricing that in. It's priced it in from way back, but it's also been pricing it in recently, leading into the event. Now, the last time we saw a dump and a pump and a pump and a dump and a pump, pump, pump and a dump. It went all over the place, but effectively went up with this kind of with this kind of channel. So if we are pricing this in, which we could be looking at a bit of a pump. But overall, it's going to be very difficult for any kind of pump to be sustained, because this isn't just Bitcoin and Dixie. It's not that simple, right? Since coming down to all these lower levels, we're basically below all major moving averages of significance on a weekly, right? We don't have any short signals on the weekly. We'd get short signals generated if we start closing below 36,000 on a weekly, and you'd have to close that weekly there. That would be a short signal on a weekly. That could easily push us down into the mid-20s over time. But obviously we haven't got any of that yet, but we do have the short signal on the daily here. So this is something that was generated a week ago, and we're waiting for this to play out. It can take up to 2 weeks to play. It doesn't have to play, but they generally do, and this isn't a trend continuation. This doesn't have any way to cancel it out. It's just a signal that can be played. And so what I'd be looking for is throughout today, we could be moving up, we could be moving down. We'll get volatility when the meeting has finished, basically. And the 50 basis point hopefully is what they give us. If it's more than that, then it will be especially bearish on the markets. People are expecting a 50 basis point. Any more than that would be a bit too hard to handle, I think, for the markets. They would just sort of collapse and fall back down to their own shadows there. But I would be looking for any kind of pump, despite how big it is, to effectively be a place for people to short from. Because the general direction is still down, sentiment is obviously down, and actually I checked that longs are actually quite high. They are quite high, and so any area from these moving averages, effectively starting from the centre of your Bollinger Band here, which is about 39,500, to maybe towards the top of this Bollinger Band range. So we're talking 41 to maybe almost 42. These are all very good areas to short from, and if for whatever reason we went super turbo bullish, there's just many more areas to short from. To be honest, there really is. This 200 exponential would be an absolute beast area to short from. Now, I am not suggesting you short. The reason I'm talking about shorts is because this is what's going to be taking place. It's not that I'm emphasizing you should partake in that kind of madness, but that is most likely the deal. That is probably the better way to think about trading this chart, for those who have the facility and the skills to actually do it. Me personally, I'm probably not going to be able to do it. I'm probably not going to be around to do it. There's always a million and one things that I've got to do before I do all this sort of stuff. But that's how I imagine today will likely play out. Volatility, any areas at these top side of the ranges, be it 39,005, 40,008, 41,007, and whether or not we manage to get up to these levels, towards 44,000, they might seem very encouraging as they happen, but effectively all they're going to be is opportunities for shorts to pile on. So if we think about that, and we think about the Dixie is still hanging around within this area, this major area. Now it's smashed through resistance, and it's likely to smash through resistance again. But I personally do think that regardless of what it is that the Fed decide they want to do, I think it's reached a natural top for the moment, and we're looking for a consolidation to take place on this one. It's not going to be massive. It could just bring us down to just below 100. At best we'll be looking for about 97, and then continuation from there, because this is a bullish chart. It's the definition of a bullish chart. Every aspect of it, we've got signal after signal, strength after strength, momentum building after momentum building. So the only thing that we've really got to go by is this is this very significant toppy kind of area. But beyond here, I would be looking for about 106 to maybe 108 over time, maybe throughout the year. I think that's a realistic possibility, and it's at that point where I do honestly think it's likely to top out at that stage, and investors might see that as an opportunity to actually start to go the other way, out of back into significant lows on charts. Whether it's stocks, maybe some commodities, but definitely stocks and Bitcoin. Maybe not so much altcoins. We've spoken about this before, but when we see with Bitcoin dominance meandering down at low levels, it does favor a Bitcoin position, as when Bitcoin dominance is at high positions, it favors a rotation into altcoins. And so this isn't really any kind of area to be thinking about going hard and heavy into altcoins. If anything, it's quite the opposite. Whether you're looking to protect or should I say limit your losses in spot, or there is always the chance that Bitcoin breaks out from here. It can happen. We've had low Bitcoin dominance in the past that shoots all the way up. It happens. It happened over here. It also happened over here. This is where the bull market began in the first place. These things can happen. Bitcoin can go up, the market can go up, but Bitcoin generally outperforms everything. But this isn't. This situation doesn't favor altcoins at all. We've got an accumulation style MACD on the weekly, and also on the monthly. I know this has got a long way to go yet, but on the monthly we are diverging like an absolute beast. And with this kind of divergence, it really does suggest that we do go from higher high to higher high to higher high, and we probably will end up around the 50 to 60% dominant by the time this is over. Again, we are looking at a monthly here, so patience is required. I really wouldn't be looking for any kind of major alt season until these areas at least get tagged. The higher the better, because they offer the biggest alt seasons. This is where the 100x's get made. They're not going to get made down here. There may be a couple here and there, but generally speaking, it won't be one of those situations where monkeys can make money, hitting and smacking buttons blindly. It's not going to be like that. You can still make money on altcoins. You're going to have to be very careful about how you go about doing it. But the easiest trades are going to be from higher areas. And again, we need to move up in order to get there, which means altcoins not really tempting. It's just not tempting. Buying into them at low levels is always good if you believe in that coin and you're happy to hold until it realizes its value. So you might be holding on for something for years. This is how some of these altcoins, this is how it can be. But you're not really thinking about any kind of prolonged alt season. The market can move as one, and probably will, but Bitcoin is the main thing, and you focus primarily on Bitcoin, and only really Bitcoin. And again, if we're looking at Bitcoin here having a little bit of a move up into areas of significance where the shorts will then pile on once again, that's most likely the deal. And my buy order is still sitting down here at 31,350, and I'm hoping that gets filled hopefully over the next week or two, to be honest with you. Right, outside of that, there's really nothing new. We've got to keep our ear to the ground and our eyes on the prize. Wait for the meeting to finish, and sit back and watch the show, because that is more or less what it is going to be. Volatility is guaranteed, direction not so much, but generally speaking, any pump is likely to get sold or shorted into, in my opinion. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there, and I hope you have a nice day, and take it easy.